Hi, my name is Ravit Rose, and I'm author of the book Unwanted Nasty Divorces, speaker, and divorce coach. And today I wanted to share with parents the 5 critical steps I believe that every single parent out there should be adopting into their separation and divorce process in order to prevent from ending up broke and broken. And I'm talking financially, emotionally, and psychologically. Divorce is known to be one of the hardest transitions in one's life. And we aren't exactly taught how to marry, and we're certainly not taught how to divorce. And one of the biggest issues is that many parents fall into the same common patterns, the same processes, the same problems, the same looping sagas, the same situations. So it really doesn't matter if, your financial situation is different from mine or from somebody else's. At the end of the day, we all start off and end off in the same place. The only difference is the stories in between that you and I will have will differ. But we will all start off in the same place and end off in the same place. So if you want to prevent ending up in this position, if you want to avoid the nastiness, the bitterness, the craziness, the throwing money away, loss of years of your life, and you really do want a peaceful, quiet divorce in a sense where the two of you can just reorganize your life and move on independent of one each other, this is a very important video for you to watch, because I'm going to share with you 5 key steps you need to take that most people don't talk about or realize until after the fact. So this is all about changing your mindset. The mindset here is not about fight or flight mode. It's about changing the way that you organize this divorce, okay? And I'm going to show you how to uncouple the right way. So it's going to start off here with the 5 critical steps. Step number 1, you must leave the emotions out of the equation when you're making decisions related to your divorce. Divorce is not only about the kids and the house and the money and the assets and the liabilities. There is a lot of that you need to consider, but the most important thing is that when you're in a negotiation mode or when you're in sort of like discussion mode, it's very important that you don't let your emotions make the decisions for you. It's okay to be emotional, but in a separate moment. You need to deal with your emotions, your anger, your animosity, your anxiety, and all that in a separate place, not here. Because here you have to sort of treat your divorce like a business. Imagine you were in a business meeting and someone says something that you don't like. Will you react and cry or break down or scream and yell? No, you'll keep yourself composed. And this is one very important thing to do with a divorce. You need to differentiate the two. So you deal with your emotions separately and then you walk into discussions with a very clear mind. It's very important. Step number 2. When you met the other parent, you were dating. After you dated, you became boyfriend and girlfriend. It became official. Then you became husband and wife. Now you have a completely different relationship of mother and father. And most people do not know how to have this relationship. And it makes sense because you never had to before. So all these years and all this time you made decisions together. It was joint decisions for the better of the family and everyone under the same roof. Now you need to change that relationship. And when a parent is now completely changing their lives and is going from a home of two parents into a single home, solo parenting, brand new responsibilities, all these new tasks that were maybe not there before, all this feeling of unknown, anxiety, uncertainty, all that can really affect an individual. And if the two of you don't know how to change and reframe that relationship, you're always going to be butting heads. Because at this point, you are mother and father facing each other. So you could be like at a boxing ring and ready to fight it out, or you just keep at your own ends, one on one side, one on the other, and you don't interact in that way. That is one of the hardest things that parents don't know how to do, but it is probably, in my opinion, one of the main reasons why divorces turn nasty. It's because people don't know how to have that new relationship. So whether or not you are contemplating divorce and you're thinking, should I stay or should I go? Should I stay in the marriage? Should I separate? Should we divorce? What do I do? How do I do things? Where do I go from here? The first and foremost thing to think about is, how am I going to have this healthy mother-father relationship in a way where my children, our children, will have the best end result, where they won't be affected by the dramas and the sagas and the craziness that goes on in many divorces. If you're in separation mode and things are a little conflictual, or there's a little bit of animosity, there's something going on, consider the fact that maybe the root cause of the issues that are going on right now are because you don't know how to deal with this relationship. And sometimes you just need to give it time, or need to go and find the resources to help you figure out, how do you restart or recreate a relationship you know nothing about or that you don't know how to do. Okay, so whether you're in contemplation mode or you're in separation mode, it is the same thing. This is a relationship that needs to be assessed and reconfigured. The third one is, if your divorce is about the 3 poisons, as I mentioned in my book, ego, power, and money, no matter what you do, you're going to have an acrimonious divorce, because you're not coming from a good place, or one of the two is not coming from a good place. And therefore, you're going to live years and years in these looping sagas and dramas, arguing over one craziness over another. So the most important thing, if you're in contemplation mode, is to say, hold on a second. I don't want this divorce to be over ego, power, money. I don't want to fight. I don't want to bicker. Therefore, I will do what I have to do in order to reshape or redesign, our relationship in order to understand how to do this. And I know this might sound foreign to you, but I'm going to get to how you can do this in just a moment. Because the one most important thing, and that's number 4, is that I want to make sure that you don't fall into the 4 Ds of divorce. In a divorce, when you make a decision based out of desperation, denial, or despair, you will with 100% certainty regret your decision. And if it's not you that's going to regret it, it's the other parent that's going to come back and regret it. And when the other parent comes back to regret it, or when you do, you end up reliving your divorce. You start fighting all over again. You have to rediscuss everything all over again. And suddenly the calm that you had is now like this turbulent situation. So it's very important that no decisions come out of the 4 Ds: despair, denial, or desperation. Okay, decisions have to be made logically. This is why it's very important that you take your time in your separation mode before you start, finalizing an agreement. You don't need to separate today and be divorced tomorrow. You can take your time, and you should be taking your time so that you can do number 5. Number 5 is that you want to so that you can co-it all together. You want to reestablish your new life. You have the opportunity now to redesign this golden opportunity to redesign your new life. You have to reestablish your role, the other parent's role, who does what with the kids, how are you going to show up? What's your life going to look like? You need to now take all the bits and pieces that are flying all over the place, meaning the money, the kids, the house, the work, career. You need to take all these bits and pieces that are flying all over the place and create a whole picture. So let me explain. When you're getting divorced, we have the tendency to feel extremely overwhelmed with 1,000,001 decisions. Often enough, we don't look at it as a whole, but you have to. It's like building a home. You need to start off with a foundation, then you go to the walls, then you go to the roof, and then you deal with the inside of the house. okay, and the furniture and the finishing touches. It's the same thing here. When you're taking bits and pieces and making decisions just about the kids and just about the house and just about this and just about that, and you're not looking at it as a whole, you will have holes and spots in there that will end up creating more problems and animosity later on. And this is what you want to try to avoid. So you want to restructure, redesign your new life. What's life going to look like for you, for the other parent, for the kids? Let's put in all the different components, like a different piece of the puzzle. You've got all these different pieces and you want to put it all together so you have a picture. And once you have a picture, then it's easier to make a decision, because you know that none of your decisions are coming from your emotions. You know that it's not based out of ego, power, and money, because you've thought it through properly, logically, sanely, in proper frame of mind. You know that now you have to reestablish your relationship from husband and wife to mother and father, and now you've had the time to think it through and how that's going to be done. And that is how you uncouple the right way, from the inside out. You have to focus on yourself. You have to focus on the entire picture. Then you start making decisions on the different ingredients and the different parts that go into creating this new situation, this new life, this new world that you're going to be living in. And then it's going to be coming from a very calm and safe place, in a place where you feel ready to take your life and move on, and the other parent is going to be ready to take their new life and just move on, and everyone's going to be comfortable in their own space. And that's how you do things, in a way where you stay away from the animosity and the craziness that goes on. So if you want to learn more about how to apply this into your own situation, into your own separation, perhaps you're contemplating if you should stay or if you should go, please feel free to reach out to me. Let's look at this separation or divorce situation in a more global atmosphere, from a neutral third person, where I'm happy if you stay married and I'm happy if you decide to leave your marriage, because at the end of the day, I'm here to help you. I'm here to plant seeds. I'm here to have you think differently so that you never come back and say, I wish I knew. I wish I did. I wish someone told me. Because those three thoughts will poison you for years. If you start off with planting the seeds and the foundation, and you do things properly, logically, sanely, in a calm frame of mind, your entire future is going to be different. And you don't have to fear, and you don't have to worry, and you don't have to live in anxiety and doubt. Let's put all the pieces together. Let's formulate things in a very different way that we are culturally used to. And let me help you to uncouple the right way. Please feel free to reach out to me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.